How your job can work for you. This is for Black women in toxic jobs. I want to have a brief conversation with you about ways that your current job can work for you in different ways. So, if you don't know me already, I'm Dr. Kamani. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist, a toxic job survivor, but more importantly, I'm a toxic job liberator for Black women. So, you may be a little confused by the title because I often talk about Black women leaving toxic jobs, and I'm still supporting you in doing that. But I also recognize that it may take a while for you to get your plan together, get your replacement income together, figure out what you're going to do before you leave a job. So that's what I'm saying. What can you do while you're at the job to have the job work for you? So I just want to share some reflections on that because I was able to do that before I left a very toxic job. And I want to talk to you about how I was able to do certain things in terms of having that job work for me. And now I'm able to have multiple streams of income, which is in many ways due to my connections and everything else from that toxic job. So, one thing that I want to suggest for you or to invite you to think about, what types of things can you get from that job in terms of trainings? Are there certain trainings? Trainings are generally very expensive. Does your job want to send you to certain trainings? Can these trainings in some way benefit you as you pivot out of that job? So, are there other possible jobs that you may want to apply for? And having this training might make you more competitive in the job market. So, are there certain trainings? So, think about that. Or if you want to create, or if you want to create your own business, might this training help you with your own business? So think about possible trainings that your job is offering to pay for you to go to that you can take advantage of for your own benefit. The other thing is think about the experiences that you are getting at your job. It may be helpful to just jot down with all the things you've done at your job. What are the different skills, experiences that you've obtained and that you would be more marketable somewhere else? So again, another job and or creating your own business. Are you able to pivot in different ways by using those skills somewhere else? Because when you think about a job, those skills you can use somewhere else. So many times we are often feel stuck in toxic jobs, thinking that that's the only place where we can utilize our skills, but that's not true. So it's helpful if we're able to actually see it. So write down all your experiences and skills. And in what ways are those skills and experiences transferable to somewhere else? Again, that job where you're working, it's not the only place where you can utilize your skills. The last thing I want to support or encourage you to do is to think about the connections that you've made at that job. So it may be other people who work at the job. It may be when you go to meetings, you may meet people outside of the job, but maybe you have meetings with them, you collaborate with them. Also, when you go to trainings, make sure that you're networking, make sure that you're talking to people, make sure that you're listening to what other opportunities may be available. And you never know how these connections down the line might help you, even when you are out presenting or training for your job. Make connections with people. Again, you don't know how these connections may help you as you're trying to pivot out. So, just brief story time in terms of how all these things have benefited me as I pivoted out of a toxic job, and I'm doing much better on all levels. So for me, I was able to think about, okay, I've had all this training at this job, and that goes back to something I did a video before about, are you expendable? Sometimes we might think that because a job has invested so much money in training us and preparing us for different things, we might think that they're really invested in us. We might really think that they don't want to lose us because they've spent so much money on us. But just keep in mind, when you're in a toxic system and you have toxic people that you're working for, they really don't care about that because really their ego overrides everything. So don't get deluded in thinking, oh, they've invested so much in me and I'm such an excellent employee. And you are expendable. And it's a sad reality, but it's true. Okay. So, what I was able to do was I've had all these trainings because I was training other people, I was helping to supervise other people in these trainings. So, what I was able to do was when I took a leave of absence, I started thinking about, well, how can I use some of the trainings that I've done or different interventions that I've done? How can I do this somewhere else? Because the job didn't have ownership of the interventions. So, what are some of the ways that I could provide those trainings? So, that's exactly what I did. So, that's one stream of income. The other thing is, I started thinking about the connections that I've made at that job. And particularly when I was pivoting out, it wasn't even people that I knew at the job, it was people that I met through the job. So, I may have had meetings with certain people or trainings, and I connected with those people, and they've connected me to so many different opportunities. So when you are open to meeting people, talking with people, reaching out to people, you may learn about different opportunities that you may not have heard about online or, a job search or anything like that. A lot of times these jobs or these opportunities come open based upon people you know and connections. So you may feel, oh, it's been a waste that I've been at this toxic job and I didn't get anything from it. You may actually get a lot from it, but think about ways that you can use that job to your benefit. Another way that I used that job to my benefit was that I got all my student loans forgiven because I work for a government agency doing public service. So I was able to get all my student loans forgiven. What a blessing. So when I think about ways that our family has benefited, that's one of the ways it benefited by me being at that job, that I was able to do that. And if I was in just straight private practice or some other job, I wouldn't have had my student loans forgiven. So there are things that you might get at the job, and it is how you can really be strategic. And I would say throughout the process of you being at that job, be strategic throughout. So constantly be thinking about if need be, how would I be able to pivot out this job? So always have your plan B, C, D ready because you never know with these jobs. So strategically plan about ways that you can that job can work for you. Strategically plan for if something goes awry at this job, this is how I can pivot out and do well financially because we don't want you to be in a situation where you feel stuck. You feel stuck at that job because you feel like you don't have any options, you don't know what to do. There's so many ways that that job can work for you. So I want to quote something that I heard from Ivy McGregor, who is the co-executive director for Beyonce's Good Foundation. So when I was at the ROI Summit in Puerto Rico with Rachel Rogers for her coaching program, Ivy McGregor said, "Get what you came for." So I'm saying that to you, get for what you came for. So if you came into a job to get certain experiences, skills, connections, get it. Get it. Advocate for yourself. Find ways for you to make those connections, get those trainings, get those skills, get that experiences, and make sure that you have your plans in place or even a loose plan in place in the event that you need to pivot so you don't feel stuck in any environment that is harming you. So I'm signing off. Please give this video a thumbs up. It lets YouTube know to suggest this video to other Black women who might be in similar situations. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so and turn on the notification bell so you know when I go live again. And please share this video with at least two other Black women. Okay, so I'll see you later. Bye-bye.